The report filed by the Veth Research Collective on the subject of human pain tolerance study. Specimen 1 was 11 pages long. The final line read, "Do not capture humans." Everything before it was an explanation of how they arrived there. Day 1. Sergeant Cole Briggs woke up strapped to a reclined chair in a white room that smelled like antiseptic and something faintly organic he couldn't identify. His left arm had a monitoring cuff on it. There were 4 of them on the other side of a transparent partition, gray-skinned, large-eyed, slight. They held instruments and spoke quietly to each other without looking at him directly. Cole assessed his injuries. Bruised ribs, laceration above the left eye, already clotted. Mild concussion, probably. He'd had worse before breakfast on a Tuesday. He looked at the researchers. "Morning," he said. They didn't respond. One made a note. The first round of testing was clinical. Pressure application, electrical stimulus, temperature extremes, carefully calibrated. They watched his vitals on a monitor and noted his responses with what appeared to be professional detachment. Cole's responses were not what they expected. His heart rate elevated appropriately, then plateaued. He breathed through it. He looked at the ceiling. At one point he appeared to be counting something silently. At the end of the session, one of the researchers leaned toward the partition. "You will be given water," it said through a translation node. "Do you require anything else?" Cole thought about it. "Yeah, what's your name?" A pause. "That is not relevant." "Sure it is," Cole said. "We're going to be spending a lot of time together." Day 4. They had not given him adequate sleep. This was intentional. Sleep deprivation was a known amplifier of pain response in most species. They had also reduced his caloric intake to minimum sustenance levels. Cole had lost 4 pounds and gained something harder to measure. He was still answering their questions. Calmly, precisely, as if the sessions were a mild inconvenience. But he had started asking his own. "How many of you are on this station?" he asked between stimulus applications. "That is not information we will share." Ballpark. Silence. "How far are we from the nearest shipping lane?" He rolled his shoulder, working out a knot. "Doesn't have to be exact. Why do you ask these things?" Cole looked at them through the partition. His eye had healed faster than their models projected. The bruising on his ribs, according to his biometrics, was already resolving. "Just curious," he said. "I like to know my surroundings." Force of habit. He paused. "You've got a ventilation intake on the north wall behind me. Maintenance access, probably. Does that lead to the main corridor, or is it a dedicated loop?" The lead researcher set down his instrument. That evening, for the first time, they locked the door from the outside. They had not previously felt the need. Day 7. He had stopped reacting to pain stimuli in any measurable way that matched their models. His vitals during sessions were almost meditative, heart rate low, breathing slow and controlled, eyes calm and focused on the middle distance. He had also stopped making small talk. Now he just watched them. Not with anger, not with fear, with the patient, unhurried attention of something that was orienting itself. Cataloger. The researchers had begun to feel, without being able to quantify it precisely, that the dynamic in the room had shifted in a direction their instruments couldn't measure. "You appear unbothered," the lead researcher said. "I'm fine," Cole said. "You have not slept more than 90 minutes in 3 days. I know. You should be experiencing significant psychological distress." Cole nodded slowly. "What's the emergency evacuation protocol for this station?" "I'm guessing 3 or 4 routes based on the pressure differentials I've been tracking through the vents. But I could be off." No one answered. "2 routes then," Cole said. "That's not great planning." The session ended early. For the 3rd consecutive day, the researchers requested a security consultation they ultimately couldn't explain clearly enough to justify. Day 10. They released him at 0600 station time, returned his gear, pointed him toward the docking corridor without a word. Cole Briggs rolled his neck, picked up his kit and walked out. At the door he stopped, turned back to the 4 researchers standing in a row on the other side of the partition. "Same time next week," he said. None of them laughed. He hadn't expected them to. The official report ran 11 pages. Biometric data, stimulus response charts, recovery rate analyses, and behavioral observation logs that grew progressively shorter as the days went on, not because there was less to record, but because the researchers had found it increasingly difficult to determine who exactly was conducting the study. The final line: "Do not capture humans." 3 words. No elaboration. The data spoke for itself. If you think Cole should go back and pay them a visit, comment the word endurance, and follow Sci-Fi Shorts for more.